Today we're going to be talking about authenticity, the second of 3 powerful principles. We're going to be talking about what we mean by authenticity, why it's important to the issue of well-being, and how we can be more authentic as lawyers to serve our well-being. And we'll leave you with a few questions to take away and consider for yourselves.
So what is authenticity? When we've spoken to lawyers, they come back saying things like it's about being real or honest or genuine. What we're talking about is being true to yourself, so allowing yourself to feel what you feel even when that's uncomfortable, rather than pretending to feel something else or wearing a mask to hide what you're feeling. There aren't any prescribed characteristics or behaviours to describe authenticity, because of course we're all our own different versions of ourselves. When we're talking about authenticity, what we're talking about is having internal integrity, such that what you're thinking, what you're speaking, and what you're doing are all in alignment with your true self. In fact, Abraham Maslow defined authenticity as the synchrony between what a person thought about themselves and what that person was doing and experiencing. For example, you might prefer to pretend that you have control over your workload rather than asking for support, or hold back from asking what you perceive to be a simple question for fear of how that might look. For me, it took the form of thinking to myself, I don't think I should take on this new case, and then saying yes to it anyway, not realising that each time I was being inauthentic. When I embraced authenticity and dropped this need to look perfect and be perfect, what happened was I was able to take pressure off myself and just be human. And that allowed me to experience less stress, but more than that, it also gave me permission to be able to say no.
When there's a lack of congruence between these 3 things, thinking, speaking, and doing, then there's a disharmony. When we're being more authentic, then we feel more satisfied and fulfilled, and any stress that we're experiencing lessens or dissipates. Research conducted at the University of Pennsylvania in the United States has shown that currently in mainstream counselling psychology, authenticity is viewed as the most fundamental aspect of well-being, and that it is not just a component or prerequisite to achieve well-being, but that it is the very essence of well-being, and that higher levels of authenticity were linked to increased subjective well-being and decreased stress. Law firms and organisations would clearly benefit from encouraging a culture of authenticity. As the research has proven, their staff would experience reduced stress levels, but also that would just generally lead to better performance, better relationships, and happier and healthier employees. And one way that employers can foster this culture of authenticity is to encourage open and honest feedback on an ongoing basis as well, not just once or twice a year.
So how can you be more authentic? Firstly, know yourself. Take steps to look at yourself objectively and raise your self-awareness and your self-knowledge. Then consider, where are you not being true to yourself right now? How can you take steps to close the gap between, on the one hand, how you are showing up in the world, and on the other hand, your true self? The larger the gap, the more stress you will experience, and the smaller the gap, the more fulfilled you will feel. For example, if I'm a leader and I'm avoiding having difficult conversations with my team, I'm not being authentic, and so I can become more authentic by thinking about how I will be able to deliver perhaps uncomfortable messages to them in a diplomatic way, but committing to having those difficult conversations. So what one small step can you take away from watching this video to become more authentic and to in turn make a real difference to your well-being?